could I suggest is followed by a question mark. Please avoid smoking. Wouldn't it be better if you, 1, 2, 3? I would be grateful if you would, just a moment. I'm just going to copy this, right? And this also follows the sentence. So, wouldn't it be better if you stopped smoking? I would be grateful if you could, or I could, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please, would you do 1, 2, 3? Or could you please do something? I would recommend that you, I would appreciate it if you. Of course, there are many sentences here, I would appreciate it, that are like the ones in the last table, this one. Okay? Let's try to take one of these sentences, or two, and see if we can rephrase it to be a bit more polite. Send me a brochure. Could you please send me a brochure? Or, I would like to receive a brochure at your earliest convenience. Could I maybe, let's say, I would be grateful if you sent me a brochure. By the way, I would be grateful if you sent, this is past. Okay, always past. So in this part here, you have to write it like this. I would be grateful if you sent me a brochure. Use the past tense here. Do not use if you send me a brochure, I'll be grateful. No. I would be grateful if you sent me a brochure. Next. I want a ticket for tonight's show. Could you please send me a ticket for tonight's show? I think you should employ more staff. Could I suggest that you employ more staff? You should give up smoking. I would appreciate it if you gave up smoking. The same thing is written here. Okay? So, I would appreciate it, and I would appreciate it if you gave up smoking. Alright? I would recommend that you do so. Okay. Maybe the same thing is here. If you do something, wouldn't it be better if you did something? Wouldn't it be better is also added here. So wouldn't it be better if you cleaned your room today? Now, you should, in my opinion, you should improve your service. Maybe please, or could you please improve your service? Or I would recommend that you improve your service, maybe. Okay, I would appreciate it if you improved your service. These are all good sentences that can replace, in my opinion, you are Zibela. Okay? I want to get a place at your school. I would very much appreciate it if you could get me a place at your school. I can't stand your car alarm. Please avoid turning on your car alarm, something like that. Your car park is, or you park your car, and all of these sentences can be rephrased into much more courteous, more polite expressions to be more formal. That's the key word here. Formal, polite. Next. Let's take a look here. I'm not going to take a look at, or I'm not going to solve this myself. We have a sample here, and as you can see, it's much shorter than mine. Okay? So this is exactly 161 words, which is very accurate. Okay? Now, let's take a look at the 161 words. Now, let's take a look at the question. You have a friend who lives in a city abroad. You have decided that you would like to apply to a course at one of the universities in this city, the city in which your friend is living. Write to your friend explaining what you would like to do after the college and do 1, 2, 3. Tell him or her what type of work or studies you have been doing for the past few years and ask for assistance in contacting the appropriate institution. Okay? So in this part, we want to collect the ideas first. Okay, I'll just collect the ideas and leave this a bit later, for a bit later. Leave the answer for a bit later. Let's collect some ideas. I'm going to open a new whiteboard. This is sample writing study abroad. Okay. All right. Let's start with a big circle saying, having the first thing, which is the answer to the first question, right, your friend? What you would like to do. Okay, what you would like to do. The second one, what type of work you have been doing. What type of work. And the third one, ask for assistance in contacting. Okay, so we make 3 bubbles. Here we are. The second one is here. And let's get the third one a bit lower. Okay, so I'm just going to put this here and this maybe there, and the third one is up here. The first one can be, what exactly again? I forgot. What you would like to do. So, just very short, like to do. Okay. What you would like to do. Here we are. Okay. Then the next one, type of work or studies you have been studying, you have been making. So academic or a professional background. All right. And finally, assistance, or shall we say here, assistance in contacting an appropriate institution. So, assistance in contacting an institution. All right. So here we are. We have 3 bubbles, 3 main ideas that we must put supporting ideas for. You can remember main ideas and supporting ideas. So main ideas. So we have 3 main paragraphs, and we need to write supporting ideas for every one of these examples and so on. What you would like to do. So I would like to register for a university. Let's get up. No, there's definitely something else. So I am interested in studying, okay, engineering. All right, at a university in Hampshire or Hampshire. Something like that, okay? Hampshire is a city in Britain, okay? Anyway, let's see what else. But that's not just it. We need to have maybe more background. Why do you want to study in Hampshire? Okay, maybe Hampshire is a beautiful city, okay? Hampshire, okay, is a beautiful city. And maybe you found out how beautiful it is, it is, when you visited your friend at an earlier time. Okay? When I visited you, perhaps. So, this can be a very good place to begin your text. Hampshire is a beautiful city, I want to study there. Alright? What you would like to study. So I would like to study engineering because, why do you want to study engineering? Here, I'm just going to put this in a small bit of another circle here. Okay? It's not a main point, but just say why you want to study engineering. I want to study engineering because I have been interested in machines or cars my entire life. Really, you know, just say anything you think about, okay? This seems stupid, but it's a personal reason, alright? Next, academic professional background. Say what you are a graduate of. Make sure to tell your friend in this Hampshire country that you are, or every single thing that you need to say to help him or her choose a good academy for you. So try to provide him with as much information as possible. So I studied, just a moment. So I studied English, French, and of course this is irrelevant information. You need to do something related to engineering, so just say English, okay, French maybe, don't say any irrelevant information, and maybe physics, English and physics, English, physics, and mathematics. Okay, in my senior year, okay, and I got a grade of 89%, something like that. Percent of 89%, maybe. Maybe you want to say something else, maybe your sports background or your what you liked about math, right? Professional background, maybe. So say that I have worked on my father's car when I was 17, maybe. Okay, I have repaired my father's car when I was 17. Maybe I like, or I studied. Maybe you can even, but let's see here what types of studies you have been doing. It's enough, much more enough. I don't think even that this father's car is a good one. Let's just remove it. Okay, so more or less the academic or professional background is limited to what subjects you have studied and what grades you have got, maybe in each subject. Okay, so English I got 95%, physics I got 87, something like that. Okay, and mathematics, blah blah blah. All right, so these are the things that I need to mention. Okay, in terms of my academic and professional background. Assistance in contacting an institution, it would be very helpful to say, I would like you to find, or I would appreciate it. Of course, don't write long sentences. So say, I would appreciate it if you could find maybe a professor or someone who can sponsor me, okay, or someone who can help me in choosing the best discipline in a university. So, okay, maybe please, okay, please make a list of the universities in or around Hampshire. Or I would like the contact information of the front desk of as many, maybe, this is an informal letter, so just say as many universities as you can, something like that. Okay? You can see that it's becoming, or the list here is becoming a bit more and more complete. Okay? We'll just take a quick look at the text being written. First, informal introduction. Here it is. Sorry I haven't written for ages. I've been so busy over the last year and I never seem to have a minute for myself. Very informal, very nice. Okay? Dear Anita. Dear, first word. And it ends with many thanks. Okay? I'd like to study electrical engineering at the University of Australia next year. By the way, purpose of letter, inclusion of some original information, so information that you come from you. I'd like to study electrical engineering, so there's something I forgot to mention here. Alright? We have to mention maybe the discipline of engineering. So mechanical engineering, because I've been interested in cars all my life. I hope you can give me some advice. I think I would prefer Melbourne because I know a few people from my visit last year. This year I'm doing maths and physics at school and I hope to do well in my exams. However, I really don't know which universities to apply to, so could you send me some information about different colleges? Also, can you find out what qualifications I need? For instance, as an overseas student, do I have to take an English test? I hope you don't mind doing this for me. It's much better to get this information from someone who lives in the country, so I hope to hear from you soon. So I hope to hear from you soon is a very good ending for the letter, and so on. Alright, so let's take a look again. Answers the second part of the task, okay, by giving background information to the situation. Okay, I am here. Alright, I'm doing maths and studying and going there and there. Pose a new question, this one. Okay, can you find me what qualifications I need? Alright, send me information and contact information about the different colleges and so. Closing paragraph, repeat the request. Again, repeat the request of the question in anticipation of a response. So repeat the question, the request of your text and anticipate a response. Okay? It's very clear now. Now, so let's review again. I have said what needs to be said about a task 1 question. Alright? In a bit of a detail here. First, you read the question very well. Alright? It's very likely that there will be 3 requests. So 3 paragraphs in addition to the introduction. Alright? In addition to the introduction, you can have 3 paragraphs, 3 requests. Alright? Or you can just add, like he did here, if you can add, if you have to add a 2 sentences or 2 requests in 1 paragraph, yeah, okay, not a problem really, but do it carefully. Okay? Here, also, he said also, can you find out what qualifications I need? Okay, he said, could you send me some information about different colleges and send me information about what qualifications I need? So, this is an additional. I'm doing math and physics in school and what you're doing well, and then he said about the response. Alright? Then the ending. So again, 3 questions. Okay, try to answer all of them. You must answer all of them. Try to provide details and make yourself clear. Alright? Use the very good expressions. Do not try to use informal expressions in a formal letter, and also try to be very respectful and courteous in your letter. Don't say I want, or I must have 1, 2, 3. Okay, I want a refund. You must give me a refund. These are all bad expressions. Okay. Then, just a moment. Let's continue now to the second task. Again, the first task, academic, will be I'll take a look at it. Okay, I'll review it actually in detail in the next lesson. Okay, in the next lesson, you may skip the first few minutes or first hour or so of the first lesson, of the next lesson, and go on to our exercises. But the next lesson will have this first task. Please wait for it. But for now, Let's take a look at the second task. It's about writing your opinion. Okay? It's about your opinion. You have to write it in a formal way, in a formal method. So try to use formal words as much as possible. And try to say some things that I will mention to you now. But the main point is mention or use the passive. I'll tell you how. Task 2, general and academic. Okay, your opinion doesn't matter. Okay, your opinion matters, of course, and all that, but they will not grade you based on your opinion. If let's say that the task says that cars are harmful for the environment, and then your answers say, no, I disagree. Cars are very good for the environment, and cars make trees grow out of them. Okay, you will not be penalized. Penalized means you will not lose marks, but you need to provide proof. Proof is bad. Proof. Okay, you must provide the proof to your answer, otherwise your answer will be considered incorrect. Right? So there are no right or wrong answers to this task, but you must read the question carefully, exactly like in task 1, and make sure you understand exactly what you have to write about. You must understand every point, because if you write on another point, you will, or if you write on a different subject, or if you don't address all of the answers, right, you will lose marks, and a lot of them. I have seen one of the samples was of a student that answered in a way that only professors in universities can do. Okay, only a professor can write like this, like that, the way he made it. Maybe I'll give you the sample later, but for now, he wrote in a way that I cannot even imagine. Okay, but he got a 7. Why? Because he didn't separate his ideas in paragraphs, and you have to do this as I did here. I separated these conversations into paragraphs, and each one was talking about a different subject or 2 subjects. Okay? He didn't separate his ideas into paragraphs at all. It was just one lump of mess. Okay? So this is a mistake he has done, and the second thing is that he didn't answer one of the 2 questions in the second task. The second task had 2 questions that you need to answer, and he answered only 1. Okay, so he lost a lot of marks. Actually, he got a 7 out of 9. Okay, it's very good, but compared to what he had written, it's very low, very low. So there are no right or wrong answers to your task, but you have to mention them. You will lose marks if you misunderstand the question, write about something not required in the question, or address only half or less of the topic. For this reason, it is worth spending a little time analyzing the question. Analyze the question. The introduction to task 2 is as follows. Okay, maybe it can be in any form, but it will always be 250 words expressing your opinion. Please present a written argument or case to an educated reader with no specialist knowledge of the following subject. Okay, so written argument or case to an educated reader with no specialist knowledge. So he's someone who is educated, but he doesn't know much about the subject. All right. Okay. What about the next one, the general training? The general training has, as part of a class assignment, you have to write about the following topic. Right? The same thing is here. The same thing is here. You will find out that more or less they're talking about the same thing. You should use your own ideas, knowledge. This is after the task, after the topic that you need to write about. You should use your own ideas, knowledge, and experience, and support your arguments with examples and relevant evidence, which is a fancy way of just saying, give reasons for your answers. Okay? So give your answer and then give reasons. All right? you should use your ideas, experiences, and knowledge to give evidence and reasons. You have to explain why you came to such an opinion. Let's take a look at the next slide. We have a list of ideas here, all right? And we have to choose of these ideas, from these ideas, what is needed to answer this question. Most of these ideas talks about a very different thing than what the question requires, even if the words are very close to each other. Let's see. Enormous effort is put into researching and marketing the perfect potato crisp. Potato crisp is the chips, the potato chips you eat, but crisp is the British English for it. So, like Lay's, all right? So, potato crisp, just a moment. Crisp, that's British English. All right? And the American English is chipped. All right? And you know when you go to McDonald's and have these little potato fingers, okay? They are called in British English potato chips. So potato chips, but in American they call it French fries. French fries. So British English, potato crisp, and American English is chips. And potato chips, British English, those McDonald's thingies, okay? And American English is French fries. Regardless, while research into stress work, for example, is ignored. So enormous effort is put into researching and marketing, but no one is paying attention to research into important things like work, stress in work. How important are staff working conditions? Should employers research and improve the working condition of their staff, or should they concentrate more on their product? You have a company. Should you have research to take care of your staff, or should you try and make your product the best product possible? Let's see. So we have to see here, should employers research and improve the working conditions of their staff or product? Staff versus product, staff versus product. Let's see the questions. A comparison of different types of products. We do not care about this, okay? Maybe you can use examples of certain products, but you should not talk about a comparison of products. A discussion of the difficulties of food industries. What difficulties you face while you make the product? Maybe. But still, it's a bit, not very much. Okay, I wouldn't recommend writing this a lot. Okay, but the next one is absolutely important. An analysis of the effects of bad working environments. So, from your experience, say when you went to a certain factory and the manager did not care about the employees, whatever the product was designed to be the best product, but the employees could not make it because the working condition was terrible. An explanation of how to make potato crisps? No. An analysis on how to be successful in business? Perhaps I would just, I would just write here, all right, a little bit maybe, but you should not stress on this point, okay? Because, okay, you need to be successful in business by taking care of yourself or by making the best product. A description of a business you know well, very good. That's a very one, but it has to be in terms of the product quality and the work conditions. Product quality, work conditions. Right? An analysis of the importance of the company's product. an analysis of the importance of a company's product to the people? No, this does not matter. All right? Whatever the product is, it has to be, it should not be discussed much, but it has to be, just a moment, they have to talk about the products in terms of working conditions. A discussion of how products are manufactured, maybe if you want to get to a point. So let's say that you are making chocolate, and this chocolate requires you to work in extremely hot conditions as a cook, okay, to make this chocolate. So you are saying that while the chocolate is being molten, the temperature in the room reaches up to 40 degrees or 35 degrees Celsius, and this is terrible for the employees if they're not air conditioned and so on. And then a discussion of the value of company staff is also accepted. So again, our answers are C, F, H, and I. Alright, so these are the points that we need to talk about. Okay, let's just try and delete these. Okay, H and I. So here's the answer: C, H, and I. C, F, H, and I. Alright, you describe a business you know well in terms of how you how it treats its employees and how much time it puts into researching how to treat its employees and how much time it puts into researching how to improve its product. And then see how much profit it's making. It's not making any profit, even though it's making some of the best products, because the employees do not hate their job and want to leave and so on. Okay? Next.